Good evening, everybody. We are here. We are live in living color. We have the live stream. You can comment in the comment section. We can be able to see your comments. So, thank you all for joining us this evening for this special edition of the Jewel Johnson Report. I am Dominique Huff, and I am working on all the behind the scenes issues. So, as you can see, we got some of you all that are coming over here clicking on the stream. So I know it was a whole lot of bells and whistles that we had to get through, but we wanted to make sure this was interactive. Make sure that you all can comment on there. So you all can comment on the comment section. We can see your comments in real time. We have some people who will be joining us if they want to get in onto the broadcast. So we're going to have a great time tonight. And I have Miss Johnson sitting here to the side of me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jewel Johnson Report streaming for the Cause Housing Committee. And we are going to continue to move forward. The chair of this program is Ms. Gloria Williams. And at this time, we're going to allow her to come in. So, Ms. Williams, can you hear us?
She hasn't joined us just yet, so we're going to give her a few minutes. So, Ms. Johnson, tell the people about who you are a little bit. And I give you the chance to.
For those that don't know who I am, I'm Jewel Johnson, over 40-year resident in South Fulton, and I've been living in South Fulton for over 40 years. Very dedicated advocate of South Fulton. And a very strong advocate for the new city. It's no longer new now because we've been a city for 4 years. Worked very hard to make sure that people understood that we have the ability to chart our own destiny. We had over 25,000 people to go to the polls and vote for a city. So basically, what we're doing now is to try and keep everybody informed as it relates to economic development, housing, and any of the things that we have been talking about in terms of making our city be what it needs to be. For a long time, we have been waiting for this moment to have some success in the area of economic development. So now we do have some things that are occurring. And one of the things that we've noticed is that a lot of the developers is wanting to come with a lot of high density in our areas. And we're not to say that we are totally against density, but at the same time, it must be in the right place. And that's one of the main reasons in which the Cause Housing Committee is taking a strong look at some of the development that's occurring in our city. And they come with great leadership skills and knowledge as it relates to zoning. These are the kind of people that we need to really be working with, because we can't just vote for a city and go home and forget about the process that we must go through in order to make a city. And we need the citizens to stay involved. It's critical that they stay involved, because if you're not involved, you're not at the table, that means anything can come and you won't have a say about it, because you wasn't there, you wasn't supervising the people that you chose to run the city. Because the way it really goes is you, the citizens, are the employers, and the representatives that you've chosen are the employees. And it is our responsibility to make sure that these people are doing what we really want them to do. So I am truly, truly excited that we have people that are really engaged and really working and out here making sure that this city ended up being exactly what we want it to be. Because we knew for years that we were really a city, we just wasn't chartered. So that's the reason why we formed and did all the things that we did. Going back a little bit, about me, I can take you as far back as Atlanta missing and murdered children. So one of the things that we need to remember is that Fulton County has been around for thousands of years. And one of the things that really makes it great is when the people get involved. And that's the reason why I push so hard for us as citizens to stay involved. I'll share a little bit with you until Ms. Williams comes in, and then we're going to let her have the show. We decided many years ago that economic development was going to come because people own land. And one of the things that we decided to do in the Cascade Charter, we formed the Association of West Cascade Communities. And when we did that, we decided that we were going to get everything that we needed, the things that we wanted. In order to get that, we had to take and do our own demographics, our own marketing plan, and put everything together. And we went out and we courted the people and companies that we wanted. And we would take them through the community, showing them the areas in which that we felt would be developed and what we really needed in those areas. They really bought into it, and they was very, very receptive of us because we showed them as citizens that we cared and that we would be the ones to make sure that their business is a success because we live there. And if you live somewhere and you want these things, you really should be involved with it. So when we got them to understand what we wanted and that we have the ability to really have that company there, they would be successful. We took them to the county, and the county offered the incentives. And that's how we got everything from the city limits of Atlanta all the way to Fulton Industrial that you see there now that we all enjoy. And Publix was one of the first ones to sign on with us. And they were very, very successful there. That store was the #1 store in the metropolitan area for a long time until they did the Camp Creek store. So now we have the Sandtown store. That's just one of the main successors that we have had, just to show you how things can work when citizens get involved. Yes, we have people to represent us, but we can't go to sleep and not supervise them.
I have it right here.
So it's important.
So,
Well, right now, I believe Ms. Williams is on. Ms. Williams, can you hear me?
Oh dear, something happened.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that we just, yeah, I can hear you.
yeah. Ms. Williams, use your computer.
Mute your computer.
Okay, hold on.
There we go.
That's good.
We're getting feedback. So you're going to use the sound through the phone. So that will really get you on there. So we can hear you. The people can hear you over there. And folks, the comment section is open. So you have a comment. So right now, go ahead and start typing that in here while we wait for YouTube to give us a link to bring people on. So we at least want you to go ahead and tell us your information for your set.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you very well.
Okay. All right. Well, I apologize to everybody who's attempting to join in, and please don't get discouraged. Bear with us. I've got a lot of gray hair, and technology is sometimes it cooperates with me, sometimes it doesn't. So what we're trying to do is to broaden our reach, and we thought that one of the best ways to do that is through social media. And so Jewel Johnson has been gracious enough to set up a YouTube channel that we can use. It's her Jewel Johnson report broadcast, and we'll be using that for our monthly or bi-monthly cause housing committee meetings. This is the first one, and I promise you the next one will be smoother. And we are working on having the chat set up so that you can give questions and make comments through the chat. But if you hang on in about 15 minutes, you'll also be able to talk and dialogue, and we can discuss as we had planned to do on Zoom. So tonight, we are going to talk about what we can do to get the attention of City Council and the Mayor and the Planning Commission to rethink the projects that they're proposing, primarily for Districts 2 and Districts 4. And there's also a project for District 5 that's on the table. But we need City Council people from every district to vote. And of course, you know, in the city of South Fulton, we have 7 districts. The biggest concern with these projects has to do with their impact on property value. And I know that there are a number of my realtor friends on the call, and I don't have to tell them how important property values are when it comes to capitalizing on individual wealth through your real estate. In the city of South Fulton, in 2000 to 2008, there were about 39 developments that were built that had homes priced at $500,000 and over. Okay, 39. And out of that 39, there were about a dozen that weren't necessarily subdivisions, but private builds. So that leaves roughly about 27 subdivisions that had homes, again, priced at $500,000 and above. And that, again, is between the years 2000 and 2008. And we know what happened in 2008. That was the year of the great housing crash and the great economic crash, when builders stopped. Some of them filed for bankruptcy, went under, savings and loans crashed. There were a lot of foreclosures. It was a nasty time in real estate. All right, so then we had the recovery. And eventually, many areas in metro Atlanta recovered from the crash. Foreclosures declined, buildings started back, and property values eventually started going up. Well, that was the trend, and the trend at a pretty good pace in metro Atlanta, with the exception of South Fulton County, South Metro Atlanta. Now, since 2008, in the city of South Fulton, there have been, I counted, 66 new subdivisions priced under $400,000, with the majority of them priced between $200,000 and $350,000. So you went from, 27 priced at 500 and over, down to 66 priced under 400,000. And the number of the new subdivisions in this price range continues to grow. And I'm sure for those of you who regularly travel the city of South Fulton, you see the signs up. The majority of them are D.R. Horton. There's Knight Homes. There's Century Homes. A number of what I call production builders who are building continuously in this area. So you may ask, all right, so what's the problem? We've got new homes, we've got development. Well, the issue is, of course, if you are one of those original homeowners who paid $500,000 and over for your home, what impact will these new have on the value of your property when you get ready to sell, when you get ready to refinance? And then for the homeowners who are buying the homes priced at $200,000, let's say up to the $500,000 mark, after they've been in the home 5-7 years, when they get ready to capitalize on their equity and they want to move up, what are they going to buy? And so our concern is that there needs to be more diversity in pricing when it comes to new real estate development. There needs to be more methodical, strategical planning when it comes to the decision as to which developments are placed where, so that you don't have a development that's a third of the value of the existing homes being built right next to it. And what we'd like to do again is to bring this to the attention of City Council and the Mayor, to the attention of the Planning Commission and the Zoning Commission, and ideally sit down with them and discuss what can we do to make this better? What are the solutions so that we have a more diverse, more equitable development of property with regards to property value in the city of South Fulton? Now, the developments that are under consideration currently by the City Council, and they're due to vote on these developments on February 9th, which is next week. There is a development that's being proposed by Pulte Group. There's a development that's being proposed by Proterra. And there is another development, well, it's more of a office building that's being proposed by an individual over in District 5. The Pulte and Proterra developments impact District 4 and District 2. And if you're not familiar with those districts, that's, of course, the Butner Road, West Stubbs, Highway 92 corridor over to Fulton Industrial. And in those corridors, you've got the subdivisions of Walden Park, Les Jardins, Camden Manor, the Gates at Stone Lake. You've got Wolf Creek, Canaan Ridge. You've got, I know I'm forgetting one. Forgive me. But at any rate, you've got a number of developments that are priced much higher than what's being proposed. Now, both Pulte and Proterra are proposing higher density developments with less than half an acre per unit. The developments, the largest one that they're proposing has units of a maximum of 2,400 square feet. And also their brick front, 2-car garage. They are saying that they're not going to do vinyl siding, but they may do vinyl trim. And it's not that what they're proposing to build is so horrible. No. Again, the issue is where they want to build it. And why isn't there more thought to supporting and enhancing property values with these projects? Now, Pulte, I don't know if you know, but Pulte now owns the John Whelan brand. And John Whelan, of course, was instrumental in kicking off high-end real estate development on the South Side, also in Southeast DeKalb. Now, Pulte builds under the John Whelan brand in Alpharetta, in Sandy Springs, in Roswell, and in Peachtree City. We propose that if they're considering putting a development in District 2, in District 4, among these established communities, why not bring in their Wheeling brand? Proterra, the development that they're proposing, which is a mixed-use development, has a similar development over in Avondale in DeKalb County. Now, in Avondale, what they're proposing is a lot more high-end than what they're proposing in South Fulton. Okay, in Avondale Park, Proterra built 11 single-family homes on 9.5 acres. Included in that mixed-use development, they have 60 flats, condos, and 35 townhomes. Okay, in their proposal for the city of South Fulton, they're proposing, I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers right here. Here it is with me. But what they're proposing is a lot more dense than that. They're wanting to propose double the amount of units that they're putting in Avondale. And again, it's not that their development is so horrible, but it's not something that's enhancing and favorable to the city of South Fulton where they want to put it. They're also proposing, Pulte is, in their development, to add senior housing. And the senior housing that they want to bring in is a mixture of duplexes, quadruplexes, townhomes, and condos. Now, many of the units, the condo units, they started out planning for 700 square foot units, and then they kicked it up to 900 square feet per unit at a price of $190,000 per unit. We've asked them repeatedly, what studies are they using to base their assertion that this is what seniors want in South Fulton, or seniors who would want to move into South Fulton? They've yet to answer that question. The closest answer that they give is that Pulte is a national builder and they've done many studies, but that doesn't tell us anything. Now, I don't know about you all, but I'm a senior, and most of the people I know and hang out with are seniors. My parents are definitely seniors, and among all the seniors I know, I can't name one who would want to sell their home and live in a dorm room. Not to say that there aren't seniors out there who would want that. But I live in the city of South Fulton, and I know many other seniors who live in the city of South Fulton. And if they don't live in our city, they live in other metro areas comparable to the city of South Fulton. And again, I don't know of anyone who would want to so-called downsize to 700 or even 900, or we'll kick it up to 1,000 square feet. And then the other question that we're asking with all of these developments, so who is your target audience? What is the income level that you're targeting with your developments? And what are your studies that show that today's buyer, or more buyers, more specifically buyers who would like to live in South Fulton, want smaller lots, don't want large brick homes over 2,400 square feet? Again, not saying that there are not some people who want that, but I want to know what studies they're basing their decisions on. As a realtor, and I think my fellow realtors will back me up, More often than not, we're trying to find just the opposite for potential buyers for the city of South Fulton. People ride through our lovely city and they see these gorgeous subdivisions. They see these beautiful brick homes. They see these well-manicured lawns. They want that. They want to live in South Fulton because they want that quality of life. So again, all we're asking is that City Council, the Mayor, Planning Commission, Zoning Commission be more mindful, more methodical, more intuitive about what the people actually want and what's going to be best for the residents of South Fulton. Not what's going to be best for the developers who are coming in, not what's going to be best for the builders who are coming in, what's going to be best for our citizens all around South Fulton. You know, South Fulton is very diverse. There are 7 districts. Each district is different. Each district has its own characteristics, nuances, its different features and benefits. And all of it is a plus. And so what needs to happen in planning is that they don't need to paint a brush stroke of the same color over the entire city. They need to look district by district and find out, okay, what is the highest and best use in this district and where? What's needed in this district? And, you know, I was telling someone the other day, it's no different than any other successful municipality development. In the city of Atlanta, you've got Buckhead, you've got Bankhead, you've got Vine City, you've got Summer Hill. Okay, all very different, but it all works. You've got Buckhead with Lenox Square and Phipps Plaza, and who shops at Lenox Square and Phipps Plaza? People from all over Metro Atlanta. Okay, so they're located in Buckhead, but it benefits and it serves people from all over Metro Atlanta, so we all benefit from it. In Vine City, you've got the Falcons Stadium, and who attends the Falcons games? Who are the season ticket holders for the Falcons? People from all over Metro Atlanta and probably other parts of Georgia, but it's located in Vine City. But it benefits people from all over Metro Atlanta. And so, you know, and the advantages for the folks in Vine City, just very basic advantages, are more local jobs. And ideally, a kick up in commercial property value, which ultimately will lead to a kick up in residential real estate value. So you see, you've got to make it so that whatever you put in whatever region benefits that region. And if it benefits that region, I guarantee you it's going to benefit the whole of the city. The needs of Old National Highway are different than the needs of District 1 and 2, Butner Road. But each area has something to offer that could benefit each other. But you got to know what those needs are. And so it'll take a bit of rolling up the sleeves and asking for help and pulling in credible resources. And not just outsiders who, yes, they've done this thousands of times in Washington, D.C., and Chicago, and St. Louis, and wherever else. But do they really know the city of South Fulton? And so, yes, there's nothing wrong with bringing in, you know, seasoned expertise. But along with that seasoned expertise, you need local knowledge. You need local buy-in. You need people who understand the history, understand the trend, because they live it. So this is what we're trying to get City Council, the Mayor, and Planning Commission to realize. Let me know when we're ready for the chats, or can someone read the chats? Jewel,
Let me
hello?
see.
Are
It's
you
not
able
quite-
to read the chats?
Not yet. Hold on one second. We're gonna fix it where we can read the chats.
Yeah, we're seeing some of the chat comments now. That I'm going to call out. We have Michael Edwards. He's at 190,000 plus for 1,000 square feet for seniors proposed by the Palute Group. I don't think so. We have GSU 2004 that mentioned to get the business that we want, we're going to have to increase density in some parts to say that Old National, Cascade, and Red Oak. And then we have a couple of people like Miss Bernadette Hudson, Pamela Harris, Ron Booth that have said hello to everybody. And we're almost at 30 people who are watching this video right now. So it's definitely for the technical issues that we're having, we got a good turnout. We got some crisp sound, so we're still waiting on YouTube to get that link out to us so we bring people on. So please use the comment section to chime in. It is real time where you can be able to, where we can read it up there. Like Bernadette Hutt said, she's in complete agreement with the last speaker. So I think with some good feedback that we're definitely doing. And please subscribe to the channel because there will be more programming on here so far.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ron, or Dominique, I'm sorry. So for GSU 2004, I agree. We've got to plan to get the businesses that we want. I don't know how many people participated in the surveys. I believe it was year before last when the city conducted a number of surveys in every district asking people to come in and write on these big sheets of paper on the wall at the library over on Flat Shows what they liked about the city, what they didn't like, what they wanted to see in the city, what they felt the city needed. And the ones that I saw were pretty consistent. People wanted things like fine dining and more variety of retail, more high-end retail and more businesses and services. And yes, that's what we need. And eventually we'll get there. And I agree, there are certain conditions that have to be met to be conducive to entice those developers to come in. It's not just about density, okay? Again, it's how you package it, how you sell it. You don't do it in one blanket swoop over the whole city, one paintbrush over the whole city. For many of those types of developments, it's about per capita income. And the higher the per capita income, the more likely they are to put in the types of services and businesses that most people say that they want. They're not going to put in, the developers are not going to, and restaurant owners are not going to put businesses here that are more upscale if they don't feel that there is the income to support it. So I feel that, heck yeah, we've got the income to support it because we support it in other parts of the city. But the city leaders and the development, community development people, they have to figure out a way to present that, to show that, to prove that, to sell that. And it's here, but it's got to be presented. And I don't feel that it's going to be presented by outside consultants coming from other cities, unless, like I said, they're willing to sit down and think and utilize the knowledge, the wisdom, the history, and the experience of the folks who have been here, who live here, who see it, who breathe it, who know it day in and day out. There's no reason why we can't have those things, but it's all a matter of how it's presented. And I think that if we do get more diversity in housing, that in and of itself is going to create the density that's needed as well as the income that's needed to support more of a variety of businesses. Do you realize that we are the largest municipality closest to the busiest airport in the world. There are over 60,000 employees at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, and less than 5% of them live in the city of South Fulton. And why is that? The average income for the employees is something like $80,000. Now, that's just an average. So if we had more diversity in housing, instead of the pilots and the managers living in Peachtree City, Fayetteville, Coweta County, I'm sure many of them would prefer to live here, closer to their jobs. And those are the ones who live south. There are those who bypass this area altogether and live in Cobb County, live in North Fulton County, or in East Atlanta. And that's wonderful. You live where you want to live. But again, it's about being competitive. It's about business. And it's about having what people want. You heard the old saying, build it and they will come. We see that every day. We saw it happen in Old Fourth Ward. We saw it happen in East Atlanta. We're watching it happen for the second time in West End. We see it happening in, Oak Grove and the West Side. Build it and they will come. And the arguments that many builders and developers give about, the schools aren't very highly rated and they need better schools. Well, I'm not arguing that our schools may not be perfect, but guess what? What were the ratings of the schools in the Old Fourth Ward? What were the ratings of the schools in East Atlanta? What were the ratings of the schools on the west side, on the other side of Howell Mill? What are the ratings of the schools that service the West End? People do what they want to do, and that includes developers, that includes builders. I actually had builders to tell me, more than one, to actually say to me that they build in the Golden Triangle. And I asked them, well, what is the Golden Triangle? Well, it starts at I-20, goes up to Cobb, over to Cherokee, North Fulton, Gwinnett, and back down to 20. The Golden Triangle. So, another thing is we know that there's a potential to attract more people. Number one, because of our great location. Number two, because of our, I call it easy access to the city, to the interstates, to the airport, the amount of green space that we have, the price of land. We've got a lot of vacant land here. There is that potential, and we've got the people, and we would attract more people. There are parts of Forsyth County, I guarantee you, didn't have nearly the number and population that we have here in the city of South Fulton, and yet their commercial and residential real estate development is blowing up, has been blowing up. So, again, I feel that our cause is worthy, our cause is just, our cause is fair. What we want to do is protect our community, grow our community, and make a good life for everyone. People work so hard for their homes, and it does my heart good when I see, a community where the kids can play and kids can walk home from school and enjoy life, and you don't have to worry about horrible things happening in your neighborhood every day, and that's what we want. Our public safety, I feel, is working hard to, build up what's needed in terms of resources to ensure that we have a safe environment. And so housing is important. Housing touches everything. So what we had planned to do is everyone on the call, of course, we want you to spread the word. And I will, if I don't have your email address, make sure you get in touch with me or get in touch with Jewel and make sure we have your contact information. We decided at our last meeting to come up with yard signs that we would distribute to make our point visible. Very simple signs that say protect our property values. And I'm hoping to have those out within the next day or two. And I'll be contacting everyone to make arrangements for distribution. These are yard signs, so they'll go in private yards, so we don't have to worry about getting permission. And with the sign, we'll give a bulleted point reason why we're doing this campaign. Now, in addition to the yard signs, everyone in our group, and you can spread the word, we're going to, as soon as we end this meeting tonight, I'm going to send you a link to how to submit public comment for the city council meeting on the 9th. Now, that is so critical, because we've got to be correct. We've got to do it so that it's on the agenda, so that it's in writing what our positions are. So please read that. It's very simple in terms of how to submit your public comment. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to come up with an email template that we'll give to everyone, and this all should definitely be done before this Friday because the meeting is Tuesday. We'll come up with an email template that you can use and address it to your council person and to the mayor. And I'll also include the email address for the head of the planning commission. Address it to them, again, stating what we want, what we don't want, and why. And I think if we do that, we stand a good chance of influencing their decision on the 9th. And at the very minimum, they will know you can't just give us anything. You can't just allow anything. The other thing that we're going to do is after the 9th, to keep this going and to utilize our momentum, is we're going to schedule a meeting with the head of the planning commission and perhaps their staff. It's up to them who all they want involved, and zoning, head of zoning, a sit down, which of course would be a showdown, and it'll all be virtual. But we want to meet with them, and everyone on this meeting and everyone in our group will be welcome to take part. But we want to meet with them to discuss how we can help them. I'm a big believer in you don't just criticize, you don't just tell people what's wrong, you offer solutions. And we all need to work together because we all live here. So what we'd like to do is sit down with them, state our case, and find out how can we help you get to where we all want to be. And that's what I call putting the ball in their court. And depending on their reaction and what comes of that determines our next steps. But ongoing, I think that it's very critical that we get as many residents as we can to take part in this campaign to bring all of this to the attention of City Council, the Mayor, and the Planning Commission. So often we hear about the need for affordable housing. And of course, historically, we've been inundated with fair housing. And the need for fair housing, of course, dates back centuries. I don't know how many of you have had a chance to read The Color of Law, but that's an excellent book if you haven't read it. And it's by Richard Rothstein. And it talks about the history of housing segregation as was designed by the federal government. And fair housing, of course, has been trying to be a vehicle used to correct those wrongs for many, many years, for decades. Well, fair housing tends to focus on the rights of everyone to own property, to buy property, and that's important, that's critical. But it's time that they looked at the whole. It's not just, at this point, 2021, it's not just about stamping out discrimination against people purchasing property and getting non-predatory mortgages or financing. It's also about the concerted, institutional, purposeful effort to cap home equity value. Now, recently there were a number of articles talking about the inequity in appraisals. Well, what's being done about it? And I, for one, think that, okay, so fair housing, what are you doing about it? And that's something that ongoing we can, take that banner up, because I think that, we are being offered a unique opportunity in the city of South Fulton because we have these wonderful neighborhoods and these varied neighborhoods, and we historically have had a very strong Black middle class, upper middle class. We have some history that shows, okay, so discrimination and unfair practices aren't just affecting the beginning home buyer, aren't just affecting the ability to get financing. It also affects those who did all the right things too, were able to get homes, were able to purchase, and now their home equity is being stifled. That's not right, and you don't see it in other areas. When I did a quick look through our multiple listing services, I came up with North Fulton versus South Fulton. The home value appreciation rate as of last month, I think that's when I did it, for North Fulton was a plus 14.25%. The home appreciation value rate for the same properties in South Fulton was a negative 9%. So we already know that there's a gap between the two, but numbers shows you how much, and it's probably even a greater gap. And, many people are resigned to accept that for a number of reasons. Well, no, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable because you will find people, a diversity of people living in both areas. You have to allow everyone the same freedom, and that's not happening. So again, this is just the start, and this is a wonderful opportunity to, charity begins at home, to first take care of our home, our community, the city of South Fulton, And I really feel that it could become a model community for the rest of the country, because I'm sure that there are other City of South Fultons out there across the country. And just as, bless his soul, Maynard Jackson did for minority businesses, what he did for minority businesses in the city of Atlanta was duplicated, replicated, and continues today in municipalities throughout the country. You know, he was instrumental in making minority set aside not just an option, but mandatory. And as a result, you know, you've got these businesses that have been around for decades, that have been successful, that are thriving. And it helped to level a small portion of the playing field. And so we can do that with housing. We can do that with housing. And I see Michael Edwards made mention of our mill rates higher than those property owners in North Fulton. That's a political issue. That's a political issue, and that's something that can be addressed with our elected officials as well. Because, you know, it's a double-edged sword to have the higher property values, which means that you're going to have to pay more in taxes. But, you know, when it comes to the millage rate, that's something that, you know, we can control through our ballot. Are we ready for open comments?
I do believe so.
Okay, wonderful. So, Jewel, I'm going to let you handle that part.
Okay.
Or go through the chats, however you want to do it.
Oh, okay. Let me double make sure before I get started. Okay.
So again, everyone who's on the meeting, make sure I've got your contact information. As soon as we finish, I'm going to send you the instructions on how to get your public comments in for next week. And I beg of you, share it. Try to share it with at least 10 people. You know, go to your HOAs, go to your churches, go to your neighbors, go to any and everybody you can think of, and share it with them. And then also, I can keep you informed as to when the signs are ready and when we can start distribution of the signs. And then Regina, I don't know if Regina's on the meeting. Okay, thank you, Regina. I saw you on Zoom, and I tried to reach you, and I knew you were getting your dinner. But Regina Crothers is putting together a database, and I'm going to have thousands of names for you, Regina. I've got somebody working on that by subdivision. So I should have that. Hopefully, I'll have that tomorrow. They're pulling the email addresses from the area subdivisions, and I'll send that over to you. Okay, that's great. Okay, you're breaking up. Yeah, we have technical issues because I have YouTube on and Facebook. Okay, all right, yeah. So Regina's handling our database, and we're going to use that, of course, as we send out e-blast. June has a platform and where she sends out her newsletter, which is perfect. And then also we'll use that to inform everybody about the upcoming YouTube meetings, and then just keeping them informed, which is another part of why we're doing this. I don't know about you all, but it's difficult to find out what's going on.
That's true.
The county website, the communication manager, not the county, but the City of South Fulton website has, I don't know if you've looked at it within the last day or two, but they've revamped it. And you still have to kind of navigate your way through it. And that's okay for us, because by the time we finish with this, we will be experts on it, because I'm going to give you all of the information, and it's very simple. as to where to find out about the cases, where to read the cases, where to find out about the upcoming meetings and the agendas. But for the average resident, you know, they're not going to go through all of that. They don't have time, and you know, their motivation is a little different. So what we're going to do with our establishment of the database and our platform is we're going to also use that to kind of force transparency. We've been asking for it for I don't know how long, and the city's not doing much to improve it, so we're going to improve it for them. And we're going to blast out to everybody, okay, this is when the next zoning meeting is, and this is when the next city council meeting will take place. This is when the next town hall meeting will take place. And we're going to do it not the night before, not the day of, but we're going to do it as soon as they announce it. And I think that that will help.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, you ready, June?
We're still doing because this is our first time going live on this channel, so YouTube is making you go through all sorts of hoops and hurdles. But we're looking at everybody's comments. We got the chat's kind of lively. You know, a lot of people are agreeing with Gloria. They're saying right on and chiming in. And your email is out there, so it's gloria.williams@bhhsgeorgia.com. That's
or you can abbreviate Georgia to GA, whichever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you can abbreviate Georgia as well. Ron Booth put that out there.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
So that way, that information is for those that are watching this, and this chat will be live played when people see the video being announced. When people see this video replay, because it will be blasted out again the next edition of the Jewel Johnson Report. One of the things that I mentioned with the transparency, when we had Morgan Ellington with Fulton County, she's went back to the private sector when the county got the planning and zoning business. Morgan was sent out a blast to all the community stakeholders of all the zoning cases that were going on in unincorporated South Fulton, regardless of where you lived at, you got to see the cases. So that way, if it's the case you was informed about, you go to all three of those meetings that the county would have. And we was hoping the city would have kept that practice going, but it's new people over there. In regards to these cases and some points she was making, I definitely think, you know, this is good that we're doing this because a lot of people don't have the time to keep up with this. A lot of people are, you know, busy living their lives. And one of the things that we talk about a lot over here at the report is we know everybody is homeschooling now with their kids. People are working from home, taking care of relatives. So, you know, not making excuses, but we know that people are just so inundated with now their house is City Hall, the schoolhouse, the work site, you name it. The house is everything now for these people. So I'm definitely glad that we're doing this.
Oh, yeah. And someone commented about the senior housing that was proposed. Not saying that there is not a need for senior housing. Oh my goodness, there is. If there was one, there is one now. There is a huge need for senior housing. Okay, but again, what kind of senior housing and what quality of senior housing? Right. And you can't just throw up, you know, something and call it senior housing because you're only going to allow people 55 and up to live in it. You know, I'm working with an investor who's looking at some land in the city of Atlanta, and they're considering it for senior housing. And just today I sent them 6 developments, and I'll share that with you all too after the meeting, that I think are wonderful senior developments. 2 of them are in the city of South Fulton. And I'm trying to think, because one may be in Atlanta, just across the line. One is in Douglasville, one is in Cobb County, and one is in Rockdale County. Now, there are others in outer lying areas, and lots of them in Woodstock, Ackworth, Forsyth, Alpharetta, Roswell, Brazelton, down in Griffin. But within, as close as you can get to the city, these are the 6 that I think are really quality, well done, and you you can hardly get in them. As soon as they're listed, they're sold. And these are the types of developments that I think South Fulton, that they're worthy of being in South Fulton. Let me put it that way. Not some 900 square foot dorm room, not some quad duplex, plain and simple, that looks like, something that you find on a military base. No, these are beautiful, well done, very universally designed senior housing, and in the price range that I know would be a big success in the city of South Fulton. There's one that's just beautiful to the south of us in Coweta County, a small development, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And that is what we want here. We don't want, like I said, Marine barracks type housing for seniors. We don't want cheap dorm room housing for seniors. No, not saying that there's just, that those are horrible developments, but no, we don't want that here.
No.
Yeah.
Gloria.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel that we are ready for a luxury senior home center?
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's
ready.
That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see.
And one of the ones that I sent, it's in the $300,000 to $600,000 range. I don't know if you'd call that luxury, but it's so gorgeous and it makes so much sense. One thing about it with senior housing, it's not, seniors are typically over it in terms of the prestige thing. It's got to work. It's got to be comfortable, and it's got to be attractive enough to make them feel comfortable and make them feel that they're getting good value for their money. Pricing, you don't have to have $1 million senior housing. In Serenbe, they have the motto section, okay? And that's the least expensive section in Serenbe, and it's for seniors. Now, they're smaller, but they're very well done and very good quality. So, and those I think are on average about $400,000. I hadn't looked at them in a while, but yeah, that's what people want. And when you think about it, seniors, okay, most of them, their home is either paid for, or they got a ton of equity, or they have money in the bank. And, even though they're on a fixed income, that fixed income is such that they can live on it, but they have other assets that they're ready to liquidate or capitalize on. And so financially, they're in a much better position than obviously first-time home buyers or young families starting out. And so, they have the wherewithal to pay for what they want.
I think that's really grand. And from talking to seniors, a lot of the problems with them was that when they would go looking to downsize, the places would be so small that they couldn't do it because they didn't want to get rid of all of their furniture.
Well, yeah, that's a personal thing, but there's a happy medium, and you're right, Jewel, in a sense that they know that they can't bring everything from that 5-6 bedroom house into a 2,500, 3,000 square foot senior cottage. So they know that they're going to have to do something with most of their stuff. But at the same time, they want to feel that they can maintain or keep or have enough so that it's not a culture shock when they move. So that they still have the comfort and the lifestyle on a easier to maintain scale than they had, before. And then Shalish just made a great point. Atlanta is one of the places, it's definitely a senior destination. And why? Because their children moved here. And the children came 10, 15 years ago, and guess what happened? The children now have their grandchildren. So seniors want to be here because they want to be closer to those grandbabies. And, let's face it, our weather is not too harsh. And, you can get anywhere in the world from Atlanta through the airport. So, and we've got decent medical care here with Morehouse School of Medicine, Emory, Grady, so it's not like they're moving to the boonies, and we've got a vibrant cultural life here in Atlanta. And if you like sports, you got whatever sport you like here. So it's a destination place for seniors. Most of, and a lot of realtors will tell you, I know in my case, big portion of my business is retirees coming here from other places or here and moving to different housing. Mm-hmm. So Atlanta is definitely a senior destination. And South Fulton, when you think, again, of all the people who live in South Fulton, you got the families here. That's where grandma and grandpa want to be. They want to be close to the grandchildren.
That's true. I see what someone is saying. It would be nice to have a hospital in our community. That is something that we all desire, because it's from where most of us live, it's at least anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes drive to the nearest hospital.
And, I agree. Yeah. And that's one of the things I feel that's stymieing the growth of Serenity.
Right.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. And, I'm a senior, and first thing I think about is, okay, so if I have a heart attack, where are you taking me? Where do I have to go? Mm-hmm. And seniors think about that. And I think that, again, we're focused on housing, but that's the job of economic development.
Right.
And, hopefully they've got a plan for all of that. And our cause group, there is someone, I think it's Delroy Waters. I don't know if Delroy's on the meeting, but Delroy is heading up the economic development group, and I know that they'll be addressing that. Yeah.
That's very good. It really is. And I noticed someone was talking about the problem is if the taxes increase rapidly, as they've done in the fourth ward, like the fourth ward area, the Grant Park area, they feel that many of the seniors would be taxed out of their homes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, with higher property values come higher taxes. But again, you have senior exemptions, you got homestead exemptions, you got other special exemptions for first responders and other groups. And it's our job not our job, but one of the things that we can do as a community, it's our job. It's part of the housing community. We will have, as one of our goals, educating the community about how to appeal your tax values, how to make sure that you're being taxed on your property fairly. And then, again, that's a political issue. In places like Cobb County, the seniors, and I think Douglas, they're not taxed like everyone else because they don't pay the school tax, which is the bulk of your property taxes. So, at some point, we might be able to get to that level where we can give seniors a break. But again, that's a political thing. I know before that happens, I'm sure we'll have to beef up, and it'll come, our commercial development, because right now the city is clinging on for dear life to property taxes for income. But, hopefully community development will have a plan to soon enough beef up the commercial development. And as we do that, and again, that's all part of that strategic plan, right, then, we can have the commercial players in the city, the commercial benefactors, to help support the city.
Yeah, I agree with that. As we had shared before, when it goes out, there will be all of this information in the chat that's in the chat now that will go out in the report, the Joe Johnson report. So a lot of people will be able to review it and hear it and make comments. Is that right, Dominique?
Yep.
And they'll be able to also make comments in that as well.
Right.
Ms. Williams, is there anything else that you want to talk about? I think we've done a very good job. Is there something else you want to share with everybody?
I think we're off to a good start, and thank you all for for working with us. And together we can really make a difference. We can get it done. And I think that we've got a lot of talent among the group. If there's something that you want to do, something that you don't like that's being done, something that you know about, feel free to share, because we all have the same goal. And I think I can speak for everybody in that, if it's going to benefit the community, then yeah, we're for it.
Right.
So we're going to need, as I share this information and as you're aware, we're going to need everyone to do whatever they can to get the word out on their social media, Nextdoor, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever car brand you want to drive, get the word out. And like I said, our goal right now, our immediate goal, is to have as many people as possible on February 9th to submit public comment and to attend virtually a council meeting, which I think, hold on a second, February 9th, they're usually in the morning. Hold on. Again, I'm going to send all this to you. Oh, zoning hearing is at 6 p.m. That's interesting. Well, anyway, and they've got a work session at 4 p.m. I'll confirm the times, but February 9th, that's when the next public showing will need to take place, February 9th. We did a great job on the last meeting, which was, what was the date on that, Jewel?
The last meeting that we had? Oh my God.
And now I lost you. The planning commission meeting. Everybody was on that one.
That was the 19th. The 19th of January.
Yeah, we had 73 people chime in, or 71 people chime in on that. And I understand that it gave the planning commission and hopefully the city council, something to think about. And so that's, if nothing else, that's a good thing. We want them to act, but first they have to be aware and they've got to at least give it thought. And I think that we're definitely on the road to achieving that.
Okay. I just want to echo everything that Ms. Williams said. We have got to engage as many people as we possibly can, because I see a lot of you are worried about taxes. And yes, our taxes was raised last year. So we have to keep our nose in tune and our antennas in tune to what's happening in our city, so we can control a lot of that just by being proactive.
Yeah, and I think, Jewel, you may be able to shed some light on the financial happenings within the city, not on this meeting, but, I'm sure you'll have sessions on that. And again, I think that once that information comes out, we can use the same platform that we've built in terms of our database and getting the word out, we can share that and use that to inform people, okay, so this is what your money's being spent on, and this is what you're paying in taxes, so this is the budget. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel that, what's happening is the best use of your tax dollars? Maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. But at least people need to be informed about it.
Right. So we just want to thank everybody for being on with us today. And please keep up with us because we are moving out and making sure that everybody has the information. And I know my voice sounds kind of funny because I have my mask on because I'm outside of my home. But I wanted to let everybody know that it's very, very important that we stay focused and try and engage everybody. I just can't stress that enough. And if you're not on the Jewel Johnson Report, please sign up for it because there's some very informative information there. And that's a good key way of knowing what's going on. And stay tuned because we are going to be going live real soon where everybody will have an opportunity to not only be in the chat, but to come on and speak openly. So,
yeah.
And
so
thank you,
Ms.
Williams.
Next meeting before we leave, I'm sorry, Jewel.
That's okay.
I just feel like I got to get this in. So the city council meeting or the meeting is on the 9th. So, 2, 3. Do we want to meet? Do you think we should meet on the 10th? Or that following Monday, the 15th? Maybe the following Monday, the 15th?
That sounds good with me. If I guess the people in the chat, if they want to say, when they think it might be, but that's good with me. The 15th is good.
Okay, all right. So the 15th, February 15th, let's plan to meet again. And, again, don't be shy about spreading the word. We'll share the results of the meeting on the 9th. And then we'll also strategize on our next action, which is to sit down with the Planning Commission to talk to them and discuss with them how we can work together to get where we want to go.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Jewel. You're wonderful. We appreciate you, and I know you've been in the fight for a long time. And Shalise is asking about the time for the city council meeting. I'm going to confirm that. I've got 2 different times, but I'll confirm that and email that out to everybody as soon as I get the correct time. I'll let you know. And on the 15th, we'll meet 6:30. I think is a good time. Most folks are finished with work, and if that's good with you, Jewel and Dominique.
The 15th is that that's a Monday though, right?
That's a Monday. The 15th is a Monday.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not our Monday though, is it? Kyle's. Is that Kyle's Monday?
Oh, you know what? I think it is. I'm sorry. Because they're every other Monday. We just did the 1st, so they're on the 15th. Right. Okay, so maybe we do the 22nd. Is that too far away? Or we could do Wednesday, the 17th.
Is that all right, Dominic? Wednesday the 17th?
That's the 17th. You don't want to be too far away. You can lose some momentum and hopefully have a better platform by then.
Okay, the 17th is good.
Okay, so let's do, I'm sorry, everybody, to flip-flop. Let's do Wednesday the 17th.
And it'll be everybody announcing their newsletters.
It'll be announced in the newsletters, the Jewel Johnson newsletters. So tell people to please look out for it, read it, and disseminate it in their community.
Okay, and Pamela Harris just posted that there's a meeting in process now, District 2 Senior Housing. Where can we take part in that meeting, Pam? She hasn't responded yet. that's what I'm talking about. Now, I live in District 2. Not saying that the world has to revolve around me, but
You should have known about it, is what you say. You should have got an email or a text or something, you know.
Yeah.
One thing that we can do, we can ask that they put us on. You know, you can ask your council person or whoever handles her meetings for her, you know. Okay. We're doing the 17th.
The 17th.
Okay. All right. Everybody's still saying, where's the meeting? But Pam hadn't responded.
And I see Shalice sent an email, and she hadn't gotten an answer yet.
It's probably in Cliftondale at the clubhouse. They normally have a lot of meetings there.
Yeah, but they should be meeting virtually now, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm looking at it. If they're live streaming it or either Zooming it, more likely Zooming.
Okay. Well, again, we just got more work to do.
Pam just sent me I don't know what it is. I'll let you know later if I can make it out.
Michael Edwards just asked about the culvert construction on Cascade Road. I don't know.
The only thing I know about it is
do soil testing or something that they didn't do. I don't know.
And the money was approved at the last council meeting to go ahead and get it done.
It'll be open in April, more to the city stuff.
They're supposed to be finished in April?
In regards to Cascade Road is supposed to be probably open in April. They haven't given a date of when that's going to be because
okay, the senior development meeting is on, if you go to the City of South Fulton website, go to the Planning Commission, they're having it now.
Okay.
And also for District 1 travelers, starting February 23rd, New Hope Road's going to be closed as they get ready to do more stuff at that roundabout. So it's going to be lots of fun with that. So definitely, if you're commuting that way, give yourselves extra time in the morning on the way to and from work. But Cascade Road is going to be open in April because they had to do all that soil testing and things like that over there. So I'm going to
head over to the Planning Commission meeting.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. Let's see if I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe all of us will try and get on there. So we're going to say good night.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for participating.
Okay. Thank you, Jewel.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. I'm going to end it.
End it.
Hit it again. He said, not yet. This said, not yet.
No, hit end. There we go.